Hello, daughters, and welcome to our third video in our Daughters in Waiting video series. And today's question, if y'all want to respond back in any way that you can, is have you ever tried online dating? I have, okay? Not actually paid for it, though. I didn't do the apps where you can pay for it. I just used as much as I could that was free. I tried Facebook dating. I tried to fill out one of those for, oh gosh, what was it? eHarmony. And you go through the whole assessment and then they match you with someone. Well, I went through the whole assessment, and at the end of that assessment, it told me, I'm sorry, we can't match you with anybody. They basically were saying, like, you're too weird or quirky or something's wrong with you, so we can't match you. Can you believe that mess? that don't mess with your self-worth. So y'all can let me know if you've ever tried online dating. I have resolved that it's just not for me. I've heard of people who met spouses through and they're still together and they have kids and all the things. There are success stories from it. It's just not for me. Anyway, so this week we are focusing on chapters 2 and 3 of the book, if you have the book. And what those chapters are about are just checking every part of who you are, making sure that while you're single, that your mind, your words, your actions, your body, all of your senses, and your eyes, what you see, all of that stuff, that is in order with the Bible. That you're being pure, that you're being holy, that if you're single in real life, then you're single in your mind too. Like, that was my issue, was my thoughts. I wasn't single in my mind. I had a bunch of husbands and boyfriends in my head from famous people and maybe sometimes people that I actually knew, but most of the time it was some celebrity. So just checking all that stuff, because you can still receive the promise that you're waiting for in doing all of that, but it's so much better when you do things God's way and you purify yourself and consecrate yourself, like separate yourself apart to the Lord, and then let him give you that promise. That is the best way, because then you're not bringing all that junk into your relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that's my challenge to you, is if you have the book, please read chapters 2 and 3. Chapter 2 is talking about all of those things, like your mind. How are you waiting? What are your actions doing? What are you speaking over yourself and your future? And your body, of course. Not having sex before marriage, that has to be stated. That's fornication. God doesn't want us to do that. But also, are you busy? Are you not busy for the sake of busy, but are you doing something? Some people kind of think that I'm going to wait until I get my husband, then I'll serve, then I'll get started, then I'll do. But I don't think we're like that. We're not that type. We are busy for the Lord. We are doing the things that God has called us to do now, and our spouses will just flow with that, and will flow with whatever they're doing, because God is wise and he knows how to put the right people together. So just a lot of those things, like waiting with every part of yourself, not just, physically, but even your thoughts. Rejecting fantasies, rejecting playing house. Don't call somebody boo when they don't even know you. Like, just to guard your heart, and set your affections on the Lord until you know that you're in a relationship with a person. Don't seek the man. We are not called to pursue. That's hard for us as women, because we know what to do and we could do it. But don't seek the man. You can put yourself in a position to be seen, kind of like Ruth did. But allow him to pursue you, and you don't want to be deceived by you seeking out your preference or whatever. And what do you long for the most? Make sure you're longing for God, that God is your first love, so that you won't be disappointed when that person comes. I know I had so many fantasies going on that it's like, who can live up to that? Because you can do anything you want in your mind, and you can make any scenario in your mind. Nobody can live up to that. So just getting rid of all those fantasies and all those, really ridiculous expectations, and allow God to write the love story himself, so that you won't be disappointed again. Because disappointment it could be really devastating. If you just keep being disappointed by what you see or what's coming at you, you gotta just focus on the love of the Lord in the meantime. But yeah, and speak what you're believing instead of just saying nobody likes me or I'm not beautiful or I'm not this. Speak what you believe and speak what God says about you and what God says about your future. And of course, submit your thoughts to Christ. Of course, of course, of course, every single time. And that sometimes is a minute by minute battle, and that's okay. So and chapter 3 is talking about like who you are. Do you enjoy you? Do you like spending time with you? Do you know how you come across to people? Do you know what your attitude is like? Do you have a resting face? You know what I'm talking about? Do you just like are you pushing everybody away? I'm not saying that you have to be open to everything that comes at you, but do you have kind of like a gate to where things can flow in if they need to flow in? So just think about that. And my challenge for you this week is ask God about loose ends. What has he spoken to you in preparation that you need to obey? Are there any loose ends in your life that you need to work on that he told you about? Do that. Ask him and then obey it. Until next time, I'll see you ladies later.